Hello, welcome to this reading. Thank you for being here. I am in the lovely library, having a wonderful time. Yeah. So, for the energy, I was getting you might not really feel comfortable being seen right now or around people. You might feel internally off balance or lost. It's like a solemn energy. And unsure of what the next step to take is, or what's ahead of you feels really daunting, and you don't know, you can do what you're trying to do or accomplish, but you don't know how, and that is what's daunting, is the how. What else? There might be a lacking motivation as well, not really knowing where that's going to come from, or how you can even have the energy to do what it is that you're wanting to do. I'm also getting there's a lot of ideas floating around in your head of just how things should look, or how things should be, or how you want things to be, but you're struggling with what is the actual action to take to have those steps practically unfold. So yes, that's what I was getting. Let's get into the tarot. Okay, I got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You are just not feeling that vibe, that abundant energy. Feels like it's almost been like sucked away from you. Okay. So we have the King of Cups, and I like that's coming out because you're comfortable sitting with this energy, for these feelings that are coming up, because you've been here before, and it didn't stop you in the past, so it's not going to stop you now. I'm also with the Page of Pentacles, getting baby steps, kind of let yourself be in a beginner child mindset. I'm hesitant to say be curious and explore, because that can even be hard to access in this energy, but I always be saying this: going on a walk, just moving your body, doing stuff that you know is helpful for you in the short term and the long term. Maybe if you need to take a shower, brush your teeth, that kind of stuff, just to get yourself moving, or go outside and just be in the sun for a little bit. The moon came out. Tell me more about this moon. I've been feeling very tired, so rest can be important now. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of shadow material or unconscious material is coming up for you to work through, but you're working through it. It's just that's why that tired is coming through. Your energy is doing a lot right now. It's processing a lot of information, and you've created such a stable container in yourself that the mind isn't what am I gonna do, blah 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 blah, or it is, but you're still acting resting, knowing that your mind is kind of freaking out, because you know that energy doesn't do anything. When you're Queen of Pentacles, you know that the best thing for you to do when that's happening is to just take care of yourself, and support yourself, and be with yourself. Let the mind do that, and it doesn't really have any control over you anymore. So that's really good. You've integrated a lot to be able to do that. A lot of maybe integration is not the right word, because I'm thinking of overthinking. You've been in so many cycles of rumination before that, now it's kind of just well, why, I'm just not gonna have that happen, you know? just you've conquered the mind is coming through, because I got the Page of Swords to the Queen of Swords. Like, you're very discerning over your mental space in the sense of like, you know what you can handle. Like the Ten of Wands, like what you're currently holding is like a lot, but you chose to like be in this position. So you're not fighting yourself, is what I'm getting. Like, you know what you can put down, what you want to pick up like in each moment. And so something that's coming through as well is just like, don't try and do all that stuff that I was saying earlier that's coming up. Like, just don't get in like a frantic, don't move from a place of like a frantic state of mind. Like, keep moving like moment to moment in a slow way, in a very regenerative way, because your energy's already doing a lot. And you know this. I have the Chariot and the Nine of Pentacles. So just spending time with yourself can help move that along. And your energy is also moving you into that Nine of Pentacles energy. But if you've previously like relied on a lot of systems external to you to like regulate you or keep you stable, like people as well, it takes time to like anchor into self. I got the 4th house home. So your 4th house may be significant. Your home may be significant. I'm getting your home might not be in a state. I keep yawning. This is very interesting. Your home might not be in a state that you want to be around in. So like maybe just like cleaning up, you know, like sweeping the floors, wiping the counters. Something simple. Or like if you've been putting off something to do in your home, just like doing that. And you can even break it up. Like, let's say, this is an analogy, let's say you need to clean all the floors in your house, but you don't have the capacity to do that in one day. You can clean a section of one of the floors, like half of the room, or if you have the capacity, the whole room, or start in the bathroom and clean the bathroom floor, like just to get the ball rolling, and then stop and like see how you feel with just that. And when I say stop, I mean like don't try and do the rest that day if you can. Like that's something that would be very beneficial. I have Mars motion, like that gets the ball rolling. And that's you supporting yourself and like working with yourself in that moment. Because on the bottom it was Juno partnership. Like that's you being like, okay, like I don't really have the capacity to do this full task right now. So let me get creative, let me get adaptable. Let me do what I can do. And not try and push myself to do more than is currently available, because that's just gonna lead you to like be in this energy longer. Oh, I like this. We have the 6 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the Sun, and the Page of Wands. I keep like, every time I see the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands for any suit, I like cannot remember their names. I keep like mixing them up, or like I just draw a blank. It's so interesting. And this has like been happening for a couple days now. With this, I'm getting like you're understanding that less is more. Like really heavily right now. Like how can I do less? Or like you're seeing that like the less you do, the more you feel like okay with self. I pulled some oracle cards. I have Aphrodite activation, Ignite, heart opening, Goddess guidance, Swan medicine, adaptability, confidence, and focus. So with this, I'm getting like your heart is healing right now, and that's a really interpersonal experience for you at this current moment. Like you may be having like more open-hearted conversations with other people, but like your heart is more open than it's been in the past, and like the mind wants to like protect that space, or like like you're getting the desire to do more to protect that, or to ensure that you're like being loving of self or like loving of others. But again, like what came through was like less is more at this time with that, like really pacing yourself and just letting that happen, and adapting to how you feel each day. Like if you have low energy one day, like respect that. Don't try and like even change your plans, if that's available to you, to support how you're feeling in that day. And just give yourself space at this time, like however you can. Like maybe even just sitting with no stimulation for like 5 minutes, if that's something that you feel like you want to do. Like if you're like really in your head, like that can help. And when you do that, and this goes for meditation as well, or any form of like presence practice, the expectation to have a silent mind is not accurate, in my experience at least. My mind will continue to cycle, but what I'm doing is I'm not, like the practice is letting the thoughts cycle instead of grabbing onto them. So like in the morning, the first thing I do is meditate, not the first thing, but like the first task. And I say that like because it's not a task, like you'll understand when I explain it. Like the first thing that I do is I meditate for 15, almost 16 minutes, just to like breathe. Like I just focus on my breath, and I get like my focus strays from my breath constantly, much less than it did in the past, but like yeah, sometimes I can go like a whole minute without paying attention to my breath, and then I just go back to my breath. And I'm doing that because like that's just a really good presence practice for me. And I've noticed when I stop doing that practice in the course of like a week or two, my mind just gets really, really overwhelmed. And like I start to be overthinking and like ruminating, or like it just feels like there's pressure in my head. So like that's something that I do to relieve that pressure, or just like create space first thing in the morning. And then it's nice too, because even on days when I'm like rushing, or like I want to like jump out of bed and just go and like get the day started, it's like, okay, no, like let me be here for a moment, and just like let things settle. Like I don't have to like jump out of bed. And like for me at least, and this might resonate for y'all, it probably will, that's how it was when like you're going to work or you're going to school. Like you want to sleep in for as long as possible, and then you have to rush to get ready, and then you're at school. Like I hate that energy. I hate it. I used to work at Starbucks, and I would open, so I would wake up as late as possible to get as much sleep as possible and get ready so fast and then be at work. It was just horrible. Like to the point where I was like conditioned to, when the alarm went off, I was immediately fully conscious. Like it's very rare that I wake up and I'm not right there. You know what I'm saying? Like on, basically. Like I don't really have a transition phase between wake and sleep. I do, but it's so short that I'm saying I don't have it. Because, like I'm envious sometimes of people who can wake up and be incoherent for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, no, like that's not for me. Like I'm there. I'm like, hey. And if I'm not, like, I have to like consciously lean into that. It's not something that comes easy to me. I pulled another card. It's Pinnacle Midheaven. Your midheaven might be significant, but yeah, like something in you is coming to a head, like to be processed, and that's why you're kind of feeling tired or unmotivated, because your body's moving strength. Oh, I got 4 cards on the ground. Your body's moving strength. And like you could say life force energy to your psyche, basically. Or like to like process out whatever's coming up. And you're doing a really good job sitting in this energy. Strength reversed was the one that made me like say what I just said. And then, okay, the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Devil reversed. So what I'm getting is, in the past, you would have been afraid of this state, and like, what does this mean for my future? Like, if I'm this tired or this unmotivated this often, like, what's the rest of my life gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? What I'm getting here is you've created enough space and like, yeah, space in your day, in your life, to let these states move through you without causing you that like existential panic. And I, on the bottom of the deck, this card that didn't want to come up is number 32, which is 5, which is change, divine destiny. It's written in the stars, fate, claim it. So with that, I'm getting like, you are someone here who is meant to transmute. Like, everyone's doing this, but it's like, how conscious are you of it? That's what I believe. But you're someone who's here, I really like this imagery, who came from the stars. You might be like starseed or identify with that, but your soul chose to have this experience at this time to take on the distortion in the current world, or see the distortion and metabolize it through your body. There are many, many people on the planet right now who are doing this, lightworker, starseed, like that kind of thing. But what they're doing is they are seeing the distortion for what it is, and that sight is the sight of pure love, the unconditional love. And that is a very taxing sight to have on the body. So like, I'm saying all this to say, like, please know that taking that time and that rest and like really like sinking in to that desire to, or that like need in the body to do nothing, is what is being asked of you right now. And like, the challenge of doing that is part of the reason why you came here. Like, if you think of the people who are in like, sorry, I need to come back, I have to use the restroom. Okay, I'm back. And I'm glad that I stopped it because I got some insight. So I pulled, before I walked away, Saturn structure. And I'll get into that card in a moment. But when I went to use the bathroom, I've been coming to this library like every day for the past week or so. So the librarians know me, like I've introduced myself and we've been chatting. And I was talking to one of them and I was like, how are you? And she said, I'm tired. And like, with that kind of like, whew. And then I asked her like, kind of like, what's going on with that? Because that's exactly the energy that I'm tapping into this reading. Is like, you know, I've been yawning so much and now I have more energy because I just chatted with them and moved my body, and yeah. And she said like, oh, I was just tossing and turning all last night. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because like, I also woke up today just so tired, like more so than usual. And like, it is really cloudy here, so that could just be a general energy. But yeah, I just found that so interesting. There might be something going on collectively. And with Saturn structure, like, this, it's giving me like Saturn return energy. Like, you can't fight this. So just lean into it right now. Like she said, like, I just want to curl up on the couch, like watch a movie, cuddle, and like take a nap. So like, if that's what you're feeling called to do, like definitely do that with as little guilt as possible. Like, that can be a really aligned action. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't always have to be like the big actions. It could just be like, let me take a break. And then, oh, I wanted to mention this as well. I was thinking in the bathroom, another intuitive, like psychic that I really enjoy her sight. Someone had asked in the live stream, like, any advice for like grid workers at this time. And she said, do not spend unnecessary energy. Like, kind of like very matter of fact, like, and it was really affirming to me, because it was like, just like really take it easy right now. Like, a lot's happening in the collective. A lot of people are waking up to like these themes that I'm speaking of, or like becoming more conscious. Like, it's just very interesting. And then I wanted to also say, with the divine destiny is written in the stars, fate, and claim it. Like, claim that you are one of these people, because that'll make it easier when you rest, because you are anchoring frequencies in the grid. Like, if that's resonating with you, like, yeah, you can claim it, babe. Like, you are doing a lot of, your soul came here to do a lot of heavy lifting for the collective, and you're not alone. I'm doing it as well. Many people are doing it in many different ways. So just know, like, you're not alone in that. And if you're feeling called to rest, like that psychic intuitive said, like, please rest. Like, there, less is more right now, and it's probably going to be for a while, because, like I was saying, oh my goodness, it's coming back to me. With the hustle culture, you have to act different in order to, like, basically starve that culture out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving, you really have two choices. It's either continue to exist in the old paradigm or begin existing in the new one. The new one is actively being created by us. And that is why it can be so taxing, is because that creation takes so much energy, because you're not only seeing through the systems and how they hurt you and others, or, you know, exploit yourself and others, but you're also having to then accept that for what it is, which takes a lot of work. Like, that took me years to process and not be, like, resentful towards, which, you know, we don't want to be having that energy either. It's not a problem if you do, but that's not something that I'm seeing for the future, you know, resenting the old. It's like, no, the old had its purpose. Like, we can move into the new cleanly. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, you either partake in that, knowing that you're partaking in that, and if you have to, that's fine. You know it. You know what I'm saying? You know that that's what you need to do. But if you're in a position where you can begin to build the new paradigm, I'll say the new earth, but, like, it's here if you just look or tap in to that. Like, those are your two options. You either begin to build the new systems or continue to rely and function in the old systems and structures. And with this Saturn structure, like, I'll show you the card. Everything there is, like, balanced. So, like, cosmically, or with the stars, or beyond sometimes our human comprehension, things are still in alignment at a collective scale, even if it looks like stuff is burning to the ground. Like, it needs to burn to the ground. It needs to be starved out. And the same thing with your body when you're trying to, like, leave an old energy. It's going to scream and cry and, like, throw a tantrum to get your attention. So just know that moving forward, and, like, it's okay for you to turn the other cheek and say, no, I don't want to consume that right now. Like, turning off the news, or really focusing on your daily structures, how you're showing up for yourself and others in your community. This is how you free yourself from that old paradigm. And by freeing yourself, you give more access for others to do the same. Not necessarily the same path that you've taken, but you're creating access energetically. That's, like, how I'm seeing the gridworker piece come in. You create access. Like, it's giving, like, if you're in this free energy dancing with other spirits, other people, you know, being loving to others when you can, in the sense of just being present with them, or, you know, maybe not being present with others when you don't have the capacity and it would require you to people please or be fake, like withdrawing yourself. That's very like advanced work is what I want to say, because you're being very discerning over your energy as your heart space is opening at this time. And many people's heart spaces are opening, and that can be a very painful process. I saw that Three of Swords. So, like, it's really important that you take time to rest now and let this restructuring happen in your body and collectively, and just continue to move when you feel like you have the capacity or the energy to move then. And when you don't try and force yourself to move. Like, I'm really getting no forcing, no forcing. Let's get some final messages. What is the final messages for this collective, for these baddies? What do they need to know at this time? I'm getting it really is okay, you guys. Like, someone needed to hear that. Like, it really is okay. Like, again, claim it. Like, you can rest, you can take a break, drop the expectations. Cancer, immerse, go into your feelings, you're safe, nurture yourself with that Cancerian energy. The full moon is here. The next full moon may be significant. The last full moon may have been significant. You might have opened up some deeper aspects of self that last full moon. I know that I did. Also, this crab is like iridescent. So like, know that when you're resting and rejuvenating, you're still glowing and shining. Like, that is so powerful to like sit in that energy consciously, knowing that like, no, like, I am gonna be anchoring right now or embodying right now the frequency of rest. Like, I'm going to stop. And it doesn't mean you're not gonna start again. The sacred bloom, it's happening, a new you, patience. Okay, yes, this is coming through. It's like, just give yourself time. Like, this girl is like, this card very much confuses me because it's such a good card, but she looks like she's in agony. So let yourself be in the pain. Let yourself experience it. Let yourself move through it. Like, yeah, let yourself receive that experience with the Empress here. Also sitting in Empress energy and the Queen of Wands energy. Oh, I like that. With the Four of Pentacles, like, really just taking time to sit on your throne, like, be with what you've already created for yourself, and like just being in that. Like, if you have a certain hobby that you know always brings you stress relief, maybe doing that if you feel called, or again, just like sitting watching a favorite TV show again, if that's something that gives you comfort. With the Queen of Wands, like, she knows this, everything that I'm saying, and she knows that she's aligned, and that there's so much yellow energy here. There's so much yellow, which, sorry, I was burping. It's giving solar plexus energy. Like, believe that this is true, believe this is happening, that you are experiencing these things, and that they're real, and that you do need to rest, and that it's intense for you. Don't let your thoughts make you think that what you're experiencing is not a big deal, because it is. Like, someone needed to hear that. I needed to hear that as well. And a big deal, and like, you're allowed to be stressed over it, you're allowed to be overwhelmed, and like, what do you do when you're in overwhelm? You take a break, you stop, you slow down. Like, please allow that to happen, and really be very protective of your energy right now, very stingy with who you're around, who you're giving your energy to, who you're chatting to. Like, if there's a barista trying to make small talk to you and you don't feel like making small talk, don't make small talk, and you don't need to feel guilty about that. They're gonna have a nice experience with the next customer, and if not, that's not on you. That's a people-pleasing habit. You don't need to make them feel good in that moment because, you know, they're resonating with you, or something in you is like calling to them. Like, that's fine, let it call to them. Let them sit with that dissatisfaction when they're expecting to have a good experience with someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's also very powerful for them. Like, they can sit with it. The Fool's also here. I don't know if I showed that, but, you know, these past patterns or past thoughts that might be saying like, no, we need to do more, like, we can't rest like this. Like, you're free from those, even if they come back up, because you know that it's not true. And you know that the action you're choosing to take right now is probably a lack of action, because if there's not a clear next step forward, you don't need to move forward. You can just rest, and the answer will come. What you're seeking will come. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles, like, just do stuff that brings you joy at this time. And that is all that I have for y'all. You're in alignment. This is okay. I'm experiencing this as well. Like, I got a lot of stuff I need to do, but I don't have the energy to do it, and that's fine. Like, I'm just taking it day by day. Yeah. Thank you for tuning into this reading and cleaning up the cards. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day and that you get to do something relaxing and calming for yourself. And yes, like, comment, subscribe if you would like. I'm posting vlogs and more readings and rants when I need to vent and just like get something out there, which is more for me than for anyone else. But if you're interested in those, it's kind of what's going on in my life and more of the things that I'm struggling with and just what that looks like for me. I filmed one last night, that's why I'm kind of like rambling about that. But yeah, I love y'all, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Wait.